Good afternoon. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Good afternoon, Mahesh.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. So, can I start or do I need to wait for a couple of minutes?
I think we can start, sir. We'll start.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, so participants, a very good afternoon, everyone. So, in the today's class, we have seen the basic idea about the cloud computing, and we have seen about the introduction, what exactly the cloud computing, how cloud infrastructure is different from the physical infrastructure. Today, in this particular session, we are going to explore more about the cloud service models, like the cloud deployment models, and we'll be seeing about the cloud advantages, disadvantages, along with the characteristics of cloud computing. We'll be also seeing the virtualization, the concept of hypervisors. So today we're going to cover up all theoretical concepts so that we can work on practical part as well from next session as well. So let me share my screen quickly. All right, participants, once again, good afternoon. So, in this particular session today, we're going to see mainly about the advantages, disadvantages of cloud computing so that we can clearly understand what are the main the drawbacks over the cloud computing compared to physical infrastructures, and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of cloud computing as well. So let us see from the both aspects as well, because we have to understand about what could be the possible advantages and what could be the possible, disadvantages as well. So whenever I talk about, a specific thing, so I have to think from both sides. Like I should not focus only upon one aspect as well, right? So I have to focus on both, the advantages part as well as, the disadvantages part as well. Okay. So the real world and your learning journey as well. So we know that cloud is everywhere, where we can able to access the cloud resources from anywhere by simply, from Netflix to Google Docs. Today we are completely dependent upon the cloud platform. We run a lot of, applications, or I can say that we are running all our business use cases on the cloud platform as well on a day-to-day daily basis as well. So choosing the right tools for your needs, and obviously, whenever I talk about the data is very important. Like we already know this thing, and we need to provide some kind of protection to our data as well, and understanding how businesses make the take decisions. Because at the end of the day, we have to be very careful about the decisions as well. What kind of decisions we are taking. So all these things need to be taken into the considerations as well. So that is the main differences as well. Like we'll be choosing the right tools as well, and we'll be having all these things. What are the things as well? What kind of parameters we're going to consider? We're going to see all these things as well. So let us move forward. Yes. So the advantages means the mainly how this cloud computing making our life easier from day to day. From the day to day hectic. I can say tasks as well. So whatever the tasks that we are going to perform on day to day daily basis. So how this cloud computing is making our work easier compared to the on premises. The infrastructure. So that is what they have been mentioned. Let's explore the key, the benefits that made our cloud technology so popular the worldwide. The first disadvantage, sorry, the advantage, if I talk about the cost savings and scalability aspect. Already in the yesterday's class, we have seen more about the scalability, how this scalability can improve my business as well, like scaling the infrastructure as per the customer needs. What is exactly the customer needs? Based upon the customer needs, we are going to, scale our infrastructure as well, right? And saving the money as well, as we know that, you're not buying the expensive hardware. Like, for example, if you're planning to set up a small company or if you're planning to start a large enterprises, so you're not supposed to buy a physical infrastructure. Since you're not buying the physical infrastructure, that's why the cost will be completely saved over there, and you'll be paying only for the usage. Since we all have seen in the yesterday's class as well that cloud is going to charge you on the basis of usage, not on the basis of the kind of hardware as well. Like we'll be mainly focusing on the usage part rather than on the physical infrastructure as well, because we're not buying any kind of the physical infrastructure over here. We all focusing on upon how many resources we are supposed to use it. Based upon that, the bill will be charged. Let us see the example, student example. Instead of buying the Microsoft Office for $150, you can use Google Docs for free, saving money for the other school supplies. Obviously, like Google is providing a variety of tools like Google Office, like Google Drive. Microsoft is also providing Microsoft 365 tools as well. Like we can better use them rather than buying the physical infrastructures as well. You have to grow when there is a need. It was a very good statement. Grow when need. What does it mean? So basically, whenever your company is having a good growth, obviously we can move our business to the cloud platform. Because if your company is not having a growth, if your company business use cases are not defined properly, then there will be no benefit of moving to the cloud as well. Already I have discussed very clearly that cloud will be beneficial in only those aspects, that is whenever you want to increase or decrease the infrastructure based upon the customer needs. That too, your business the needs are not actually defined properly. When my business needs are not defined properly, then cloud is the best option. Like in the cloud platform, we can able to manage the resources, whenever there is a hike in the requirements, when there is requirement is not at all clearly defined. In those cases, the cloud will be more beneficial. Like your Google Drive starts with 15 GB free need, more for a big project. Upgrade temporarily, then downgrade after, and the flexible and I can say easily as well. So this is what exactly they have been mentioned here, as it is very very important as well. Okay. Cost savings and scalability is one of the biggest, I can say that advantage. Access anywhere and lightning speed. Guys, we have to understand one thing here, everyone. So work from anywhere. Work from anywhere means it doesn't, completely access your location, like how your physical infrastructure is at one location. So it doesn't mean that you will be accessing from anywhere as well, right? So simply what it means, access your files and applications from any device with internet, phone, tablet, or computer. So that is accessibility. We can access our resources from anywhere. access your files, applications from any device with internet, phone, tablet, or the computers as well. So one more example they have given here. You can start your essay on your school computers, continue on your phone during the bus ride, and finish on your home laptop. Wow, wow. It was really very good example. Here the thing is that you are using the same account. Whenever you use same account, a Google account, whenever you're in the campus, work on the campus infrastructure device. Whenever you're traveling, open your mobile phone, work on same essay. When you reach home, open your tablet or open your desktop and work on there. Here, what is going to be changed? Only device is being changing. The location is being changing. Only the thing which is not changed is that accessibility and the content whatever you have kept. So based upon your requirements, the content keeps on changing as well. So that is all about the account what we are supposed to manage. So that's why they have mentioned lightning speed, super fast performance, because generally the cloud providers provide us a platform where we can able to deploy our applications and where we can able to manage them very fast as well. That is what they have been mentioned, super fast performance. Like cloud providers use powerful servers where they're going to process the multiple tasks parallelly as well, like editing the video in the cloud, and it is much faster than our old laptop as well, because the cloud uses the professional grade processing powers as well. So participants, this is one of the best advantage, that is accessing from anywhere. So that is a main drawback inside the. So that is a main advantage inside the the cloud platform as well, because accessibility is going to play an important the role as well. Next we have safety. Next we have a concept called safety features and the easy updates, automatic backup and recovery as well. So participants, automatic backup and recovery means basically your data is automatically saved in multiple locations, because we are not going to store our data only in the single location. We are supposed to store our data in the multiple locations as well, right? So whenever your users, you're running a business, whenever you're running a business, if your users are spread across the globe, so obviously you can store your data at multiple, the locations as well. That is what they have been mentioned here. Automatic backup and recovery as well. So you can store your data in multiple data centers, and where you can able to access the data quickly, and where you can able to manage, because recovery is very important. Basically what happens in the on premises, basically they will be having their own data center, and they generally don't invest in the backup data centers. This is a primary data center, where the operations are being happening. Whenever the operations are being happening at the primary data center, so definitely they has to maintain some backup data centers, so that if primary is not available, you'll get access to the data from backup data centers. Since backup solutions are completely depend upon the cost, right? So we have to invest more amount of money on the same thing, so that it's very important to understand as well. So the automatic and backup recovery is very important. We can back up our data completely to the cloud platform, and where we can able to access it, and where we can able to recover the data from wherever exactly we will store the data as well. Always up to date. What it means, software updates happen automatically in the background. You don't need to worry about the software updates, because complete updates will be taken care by the cloud provider. So just you have to access them by simply sitting at your location, so that you will be having the more the advantages as well. So that is what they have mentioned, always up to date as well. Okay, what it means, software updates happens automatically. And whenever I talk about the OS updates, even OS updates also will happen automatically, right? So this is what exactly participants we have to understand as well. Okay, so in the background, always the system will be completely managed by the cloud provider, because the cloud provider will be responsible to process the current updates, and to provide the better security for our organization side. Because if my organization is completely depending upon the cloud platform, so we have to make sure that entire organization gets complete support from the cloud provider, which is the very very important as well. So that's the reason that people are generally going to the cloud platform and managing the things as well. Clear? And next we have one more important thing here, that is we have a concept of the challenges as well, because that is disadvantages. We have to understand about the disadvantages of the cloud computing. So the main disadvantages of the cloud computing, as we can see here, the challenges I could say rather than disadvantages. So what are the challenges? What are the probable challenges that we're going to see here, so that we can able to understand them very, very, quickly as well. So we have various challenges as well, as we have to understand them very clearly. So what are those challenges as well? The challenges is like, the first one, participants, it's very important that we always need internet as a major connection, because without proper internet connection you cannot access any kind of the cloud resources as well. Okay, internet is the major connection that you people has to access. There is, whenever you people want to access any kind of resources, the internet is very much required here, because without proper internet connection we cannot access any kind of resource from the cloud providers. So that's why it is very, very important as well. So needs internet always. Without internet connection you cannot access your cloud files or applications. No wi-fi means no work. That's what I said in the starting of the class. So how do you define? So you will be generally defining as cloud is nothing but internet, where we can access on-demand access. We can access it from anywhere. So in those aspects, right? So that is what exactly what I want to convey as well. Like we have various challenges as well. Like next one is privacy and security worries as well. So your data will be completely stored in the someone else's servers. It is not stored at your own servers, right? Whatever the data is there, our data will be completely stored in someone else data centers as well, because your complete data will be managed, maintained by the cloud provider. I can say that from the third party as well, where we're going to have the third party. So they will be able to manage the things as well, right? So which is the very, very important as well. So that's what I'm saying, that you always need the internet, which is actually as a major medium to connect to the internet as well. So even the privacy is also very important as well. Less control over your data. So this is also one of the major drawback, because you generally worry about control. Means, for example, I have some sensitive data, and where I'm taking the cloud platform for storing my data as well. Like I can say that whenever you're storing the very, very huge files, like the file contains the sensitive data or the password credentials, like I would like to say those things, because you are completely storing your data entirely on the cloud platform. So suddenly if the cloud platform got compromised, so obviously we can see a slight data breach from the data centers. So the cloud providers decide how things work. You cannot customize everything or know exactly where your files are physically stored. Now I'm using AWS platform and I'm selecting a specific region. So exactly where my data has to be stored, I will be knowing. So participants, if I ask you that you are using Google Drive, so anybody has any idea that where your Google data is being stored? Can you please respond in the chat box, everyone? Where your data is being stored? Anybody knows that? Because all of us are using Google Drive, all of us are using Microsoft OneDrive. Can anyone say that where exactly our data is being stored? Okay, don't say that our data will be stored in the service. I'm asking a particular location where exactly our data will be stored as well. Does anyone has any idea on the same question which I've been asking? All right, not an issue. So we don't have any specific idea that exactly where our data is, being stored as well. Okay, less control over the data, over your data, because entire control is with the service provider. If entire control is with service provider, obviously we'll be having the very, very less control over the the data as well, right, participants? That's why it is very, very the important as well. Next is the one more important thing. The security is not only the responsibility of the cloud provider. So why I'm saying that security is not only the responsibility of the provider, it is actually a shared responsibility. Why I'm saying it's a shared responsibility? Because whenever I talk about the cloud, so cloud security is being shared between customer and the service provider. Let us assume that you are working on the AWS platform. Whenever you're working on the AWS platform, so you are actually maintaining this, your company operations using a small, root user account. The root user account means the main owner account. So after, you're managing your services on the AWS platform, if you're sharing your account with everyone, so your account might be, might be, it will be unsecured because you're sharing your password with everyone, so everyone will be using your account. Ultimately, it gets compromised with the security as well. That's why here the security is going to play a major role because your data will be completely stored in someone else's servers as well. So hackers might try to access it, or companies might see your private information whenever there is a data breaches as well. Okay, example: storing personal photos on the iCloud means trusting Apple, because now I'm storing all my data in the Apple iCloud. iCloud is the cloud storage of Apple, that everybody knows that. So we cannot guess that that how my data is being stored over there. So that's why we cannot completely judge the remote platforms as well. So that is also one of the challenge that currently we are facing it, because we cannot guess completely that my data will be safe over there cloud providers account as well. Okay, that's why the privacy and security concerns are evolving the day by day, because just we are believing the fame of the cloud provider, we are believing the user capacity of a particular company, and we are managing our the business over the infrastructure as well. So that is the privacy and security of the data as well. Less control over the data as well, which is also very very important as well. So because we don't have more control, since entire infrastructure is managed by the cloud provider, we are not customizing anything. That's a major reason here. So service can go down as well. For example, today I have very important meeting. Today I have the meeting. Let us assume I have this development program. So where in the internet plays a very major role here. Now, if I want to attend this particular faculty development program, so definitely the main challenges which I would like, which I'm going to face is that internet. So without internet, I cannot, I cannot come over here. I cannot talk over here, right? So I cannot do any task over here, right? So that's the reason that, where I will be requiring, the proper internet connection. So using this proper internet connection, I can able to, access Zoom meeting link. I can able to deliver whatever I plan to deliver. So sometimes the Zoom also may not support you. So as of now, you all are on the Zoom meeting and you're trying to attend because there is no glitch over there. Sometimes the Zoom may go down, the application may go down, and you have some important meeting where the important meeting got postponed because of technical glitches which are happening. That is completely because of downtime. So even though the service provider platform like YouTube goes down worldwide for an hour, you cannot watch videos or upload your school projects until it is fixed, even though your internet works fine. So sometimes we can see that, but there are some applications which have fixed downtime. The real time application like IRCTC, like we know that we used to book the tickets through this IRCTC app as well. So where we are trying to deploy our where we are trying to access the application, and where we are trying to book our tickets completely from the IRCTC website, right? So suddenly, like they have changed that, policy that every day the RCTC application will go down during night time, because that is because they want to update their servers, they want to update the customers' information over the servers, and that is a dedicated time. That is completely planned downtime as well. There will be two downtimes. One is planned downtime, another one is unplanned downtime. So unplanned downtime means what? The application will be completely, not under our control. I have deployed my application on the server. I think that my server is running fine. So suddenly my server is not responding properly. In those cases, I can say that, simply that, our systems are down, because it will take some time to, identify at what point my systems went down. So that is in the case of on-premises, it is the biggest problem. But in the cloud also, some services, will be having some issues where you're not able to access them very clearly. So ultimately it becomes, more, the problematic as well. So that is what exactly I'm saying, that services may go down as well. Okay, stuck with one company. So stuck with one company rather than saying that it's a kind of vendor locking. So, so participants, can anyone, write in the chat box, what are the different service providers which are in more competition with each other? Anyone can please write in the chat box. What are the service providers which are in competition with each other? Can anyone write in the chat box? Like we have some major service providers across the globe, right? So what are the major service providers across the globe, so that we can see those things? Very good, Deepti, madam. It's AWS. So what are the different the service providers? Like we have Salesforce. Very good, ma'am. What else we have? AWS, Salesforce. We have Microsoft Azure, we have Google Cloud. So these are some of the major cloud providers who are actually providing the services to the customers as well. So stuck with one company is a kind of, you are completely dependent upon only one particular service provider. Whenever you have depended only upon one service provider, what happens is that if that service provider is not responding, if the service provider is not delivering the services properly, obviously you should have that flexibility that to shift your business to the third party platform, means other platforms as well. So that's the reason that it's very important to understand that, switching from one cloud provider to the another is a difficult task. You might lose the features or the data during the move as well. So that's why participants, it is very important as well that you have used Google Classroom for years. Switching to Microsoft Teams means learning a new system and moving all your files a big hazard. Because earlier I have managed my data on the on premises, like I have my desktop, so where I have my hard drive. So on the hard drive, I'm going to manage my data. So as time flies, we know that we have to update ourselves. So for updating, what I have did is that I have chosen the service provider platform for storing my data. So in AWS, we have a service called AWS S3, which is a simple storage service. So using that, where I can able to store my valuable data and I can able to access it whenever there is a requirement as well. So stuck with one company is nothing but vendor lock-in. The vendor will be trapped over at particular place as well, because this condition will be arise. This condition is going to arise when you're shifting from one cloud provider to the another cloud provider. If I'm working on currently AWS platform, so whenever I'm shifting from AWS to the Azure, so I'm going to see problem over there as well. All right. So that is what they have given here, stuck with one company as well. All right. So the next one, what they have given, you can see participants, that is advantage, disadvantages. Overall, they have kept very clearly here. So let us have a look on the same thing as well. Okay. So Amazon Simple Storage Service, exactly, ma'am. So Simple Storage Service, it is actually the S3 service where we use this S3 service for storing the data, where we can retrieve the data from anywhere by using this public access as well. So we have advantages, we have disadvantages. Advantages, already all the things are listed below, so we can see those things as well. Like we have advantage, which is going to save the money, and I can say that access from anywhere. So already we have discussed those particular things as well, and we also seen that automatic backups as well. Backup solutions has become more simpler as well. Okay, so even fast performance as well. Powerful servers do heavy work. So on the servers, so these are some of the advantages as well. Can anyone say me what are the advantages apart from the advantages which I have discussed now? Is there any advantage, participants, apart from this? Highly appreciated. So if you can write in the chat box. What are the different things that we can count? What are the advantages other than the advantages which I have shown here? Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So Abhilash sir is saying that reduced infrastructure. Obviously, sir. So reduced infrastructure also because we are not using more amount of physical infrastructure. That's why the infrastructure also gets reduced as well. Collaboration, obviously. Even it's a better collaboration because through cloud platform you can collaborate together, ma'am, and even you can able to communicate over there. Very good, ma'am. So any other things, participants, where we can contribute to the advantages of cloud computing? Yes, automatic backup and recovery already that we have discussed, ma'am, like automatic backups, because we use mainly the cloud platform especially for the backups as well, so where we're giving the highest priority for the same things as well, that is backup and the the recovery aspects as well, okay, which is the very very important. So participants, whatever the advantages we have seen so far, so they contribute really well enough because the primary reasons I have mentioned very clearly. So disadvantages, they are quickly, I can say that quickly we can see them one by one. So needs internet connection, no connection equal to no access. So participants, that's a reason I said that in yesterday's class, cloud is nothing but simply an internet as well. Because without valid internet connection, we'll not have any I can say that no access to the cloud service provider platform. Security risks are also being involved because data which is being stored on the external servers where we can able to access it from anywhere. But the problem is that wherever I feel that accessibility is the best, but we have to what I can say that we have to see from the both sides, because we should not always say or talk from one particular side only. We should always talk from the two sides as well. Like every book has a two sides, like every page has a two sides. Like I can say that we have to talk about the advantage from one side and also the disadvantage from other side as well. So participants, that is what exactly what I want to convey here. So limited control is there. Provider makes the rules because we have to always, stick to the provider's platform, because that is not our own platform where we can do whatever we want. If I'm planning to deploy an application, I have to follow the platform dependencies. So they have made the platform, they have managed the platform, so we have to always follow the platform rules and regulations. So that is one of the drawback which I can say that. Downtime happens, services can crash temporarily. For example, now I want to if you talk about Microsoft Azure, so literally the Microsoft Azure services are very slow if you work on the console part. So there are two parts, like where I can able to create the a server using Microsoft console, and I can also create a server using the cloud shell as well. Means a kind of shell command prompt. So where we can able to write the commands for creating the server. So two ways are there. Either through GUI also you can create a server. Either through commands also you can create the server. But when you create a server through commands, it will be very fast because of the the workload that has been attached to over there. And if I talk about the GUI, graphical user interface, somewhere we observe a little delay in creating the servers, because it will take much time compared to the this command based creation. So that the problems also we're gonna face it over there. Sometimes entire applications goes down. Means I can say that services will crash immediately, and you will not able to open those things as well. Clear and hard to switch. So moving to the other provider is difficult. Participants, why do you think that? Anyone can write in the chat box, please. It would be appreciated. Can anyone say me that why it is really a bit difficult task to move from one provider to another provider? Is there any solution for this? What is the major drawback over here? Because they are saying that hard to switch. Why it is very hard to switch? Because we are now I'm working on the AWS. I want to shift my platform to the Azure, but the concept says that it's a bit difficult to switch. Practically also difficult to switch. Yes, yes, SLA. See, SLA is a different term here, ma'am. So SLA, service level agreement, is a kind of agreement that you talk mainly about like the requirements. For example, ma'am, if you are planning to start a company, you will be defining your terms and conditions very clearly, right? Like I want this many servers, I want this many services, all these things. But here we're not talking about the migration part, right? So in the SLA, I'm going to mention I'm going to provide some kind of commitments over there. Using service level agreements, we'll be having these things as well. Different service providers use different way of representations. Very good. Data migration issues. All right. Skill gap. Okay. So ultimately, participants, one thing I would like to say here, the platform dependencies are very important. Learning the new things, whatever the reasons all the participants are mentioning in the chat box, all the reasons are all, absolutely correct. Because, we cannot say one particular reason is actually responsible for this, problem. I cannot say that skill gap is a problem for moving. I cannot say that data migration issue is a problem for moving. See, there are many reasons for this. I said very simple example. As of now, I'm working on the on-premises to store my data. But when I move to the cloud platform, there I have to learn the things. I have to work on that. I have to understand the strategies, how I can make more simpler, more easier. So the platform dependencies, how you are using on the on-premises, might be the same techniques will not be used in the other platform. Whatever the services I'm using on the AWS platform, might be those kind of work will not be available on the Azure platform, but outcome is same. Whether you create a server on the AWS, Azure, or GCP, everywhere the same work. But the problem is the platform which you're supposed to use it. That is very, very, important as well. So, as far as selecting the best cloud provider, managing their company business is exactly the very, very important as well. Because whenever you have a plan to migrate from one cloud provider to the other cloud provider, you have to worry about platform dependencies as well. Because if I'm managing an entire business on the AWS platform, obviously I should stick to their AWS dependencies as well. How the AWS services, what are their rules and regulations, I have to study very carefully about them, because SLA is mentioning the requirements. If I talk about the storage, what could be the SLA for the storage, like how much storage they're providing, what kind of storage they're providing, whether they're providing file storage, block storage, object storage, what category of storage they're providing. We have to understand those things as well, because we have to mention in the agreement. So whenever I am making an agreement with anyone, so obviously I should understand about all these things as well. Okay. So these are the disadvantages. Participants, any disadvantages apart from this which you want to contribute to this particular disadvantages? Is there any disadvantages? Are there any disadvantages apart from this? Like we have seen the all the advantages as well very clearly. Even we have some disadvantages as well. What are those disadvantages we have other than this? Like, I hope all the things which are the main points I have mentioned here very clearly. It needs internet connection, security risk, limited control, the downtime happens, how to switch as well, because it's a bit difficult. Your power consumption. But Charan sir, I want to convey one thing very clearly. So here the power consumption will be there, but technically, when the cloud people are running their, data centers, for them the power is not a problem, because they are using the concept of virtualization to virtualize their servers. So power consumption will not be that much disadvantage here, because consuming the cloud resources, I'm managing the things as well, all these things, right? So improper usage may increase the cost. Obviously, this is also one of the best point I could say that, ma'am. That improper usage, I can say that incorrect usage. What does incorrect usage means? The incorrect usage means that you don't know exactly which particular service we have to use it. I want to use a simple web application development platform, but I'm choosing a complex platform and the platform points, all the things could become the problematic as well, which is the very, very important as well. Clear, participants? So that is what exactly like what I would like to convey as well. Okay, it needs internet connection as well, all these things whatever is generally required, I should take care of these things as well. So these are the disadvantages. And in the and even the cloud will not provide you these things, that the security they have not mentioned here clearly. So why the security is the major problem, why it is disadvantage, already I have spoken a bit on it. Because security is the responsibility of the both the service provider, and I can say that both the customer as well. The main reason is that service provider will be taking entire the responsibility, but at the same side even the customer has to be very confident about their usage as well, because if they share their credentials with everyone, so misusage will be there. Ultimately it leads to the more billing of the resources as well. Clear, participants? So I have mentioned a small task for every one of you. So can anyone write in the chat box for question wise? Just mention the question number, write the answers if you can. So I'm asking first to name three advantages of cloud computing and give the one real life example for each. Like for example, advantages, easy to access. The best real time example is Google Drive. So you people has to mention like that. So it would be highly appreciated if you write in the chat box. Name three advantages of cloud compute. At least I request participants to give one advantage of each, because if you give one advantage, obviously we can able to access it, and even you can able to manage it as well. Okay, scalable. Okay, high availability, enhance the accessibility, the mission independent, the scalable as well, automatic backup for the safety purpose. All right, cost effective. Even we are not able to access without proper internet connection as well. Excellent. Yes. The question number two also there given, why is internet dependency considered a disadvantage of cloud computing? Explain. It's very simple. Without internet, we cannot access a cloud resource from anywhere as well. So that's why internet is actually a major connection. Using this, we have to manage multiple, the things as well. Okay, that is really a bit, important task as well. And even we have question number three. Compare the cost savings advantage with the vendor dependency disadvantage. Which matters more to you as a student and why? We can also mention as a student, because with respect to student, with respect to anyone, can manage them as well. Exactly, Ravi sir. It was a good point. As a student, cost matters. As a startup, it's very important. All right. So I can see a good response in the chat box as well. So the time is up. So we have seen, many advantages and disadvantages till now. So I can say good responses from all of you. So let me, clarify one thing very clearly here. Yes. So these are the main things participants we have to consider that, I really appreciate the responses. So the more responses, I can see that everybody, like you can say that participants are mostly on cost savings and different services as well. And we can also see about the cost factors, the downtimes, uptimes. You get only what you pay, availability, okay, the scalability as well. So we have seen this particular, the things as well. Okay, scalability and flexibility, very good, ma'am. Cost savings and better collaboration. Exactly, exactly. So these are some of the important points that we have to consider as well. Yes, even mobility also. Okay, like we can also consider the same thing. Yes. So with this, we are going to end up this. Just give me a moment, please. So next we are supposed to see the architecture of cloud computing. Till now we have seen the importance of cloud, and we have seen yeah, pay as you go, ma'am, Pooja ma'am. Yes, exactly, pay as you go. So where we can where we'll be paying only based upon the usage as well. So participants, the next step which we are going to discuss, the next concept is architecture of cloud computing. It's a very simple, like where we'll be having the front end and where we'll be having the back end. Through front end and back end, we are trying to communicate over the platform. Like we'll be having internet as a major medium. Through internet, we are going to communicate. Like we'll be having the front end and the back end as well. So let me share this, share my screen quickly, and let's move forward. So participants, our next topic of the day, that is, cloud architecture as well, which is very important. As I said very clearly that we have to finish the basics of cloud computing as quickly as so that we can focus on the practical implementations as well. The cloud architecture is very simple and easy to manage. So understanding how the cloud works behind the scenes, a beginner's guide to building blocks that cover everything from Netflix to Google Drive. Like the architecture is a bit, important thing that those who are learning for the first time. So it is really an important thing as well. So architecture of cloud computing would comprise of all the components like front end and the back end as well, which we will be taking care of them. So cloud computing architecture is a blueprint that shows how all components and technologies work together to deliver the cloud services. Because I am a customer, so if I think from the customer perspective, so obviously I will be able to get all the resources from the cloud provider. So cloud computing architecture is completely a kind of blueprint that provides a standard format where we can able to manage our resources remotely by simply sitting at our on-premises locations. It shows the how different rooms connect and function together. Because in the backend, if I talk about the cloud backend means I can simply say the cloud engine is completely comprised of the backend components like all the things which the customer is requesting. For example, I'm requesting the storage. Already the cloud provider is maintaining the storage in the backend through which we are able to access that. So why does it matters basically? Why architecture is important? Because you should basically understand the flow between the customer and the service provider. So how the communication is happening between the customer and the service provider, and that's why it's very important as well. See, there are two main parts over here, that is front end and the back end as well. If I talk about the front end means from where you try to access the resources. This is what, see, so they have clearly mentioned that front end is all about your digital window, back end is all about the cloud's engine room. Why they have mentioned here engine room? Because see, in the back end, entire cloud infrastructure is being maintained, managed by the cloud provider. What is front end here? The front end means from where you try to access the cloud resources, either from the device or either from which browser you're trying to use it up. So all these things important as well. So which is the very important as well. So like the front end or the back end, whatever you're supposed to use it up, it's very important as well. So participants, it's very important to understand these things, like whatever you're supposed to manage. So all the parameters are very important as well. So that is what exactly I want to convey you people, that user interface is also very important. Client applications, like for example, if I want to access anything from internet, the major medium which I require is browser. Through browser only, I'm trying to access the cloud resources. Backend, like invisible powerhouse, servers and the storage as well, database and the systems and the cloud management tools. Why they have mentioned cloud management tools? Since the cloud infrastructure is completely managed, maintained by the cloud provider, so we are supposed to see this, we are supposed to manage it as well. So participants, it is the invisible powerhouse, servers and the storages, databases and the systems as well, the cloud management tools, because we have ample of tools which are completely managed, maintained by the cloud provider, like CloudWatch, which is a kind of monitoring tool. So where we are supposed to monitor the resources, where we are supposed to manage them, so where we can able to get the more things about the same thing as well. That is a completely the backend part as well. So this is something that where we can manage it up, where we can able to get it up as well. Okay, the front end and the back end as well, because both are very much important. Only a simple thing is that the front end is your digital window. The digital window clearly says that I can say that the user device as well, the user, the laptop, I can say that, the phone, I can say that, or any device which exactly is supposed to use it up. So the web browsers we are going to have, as I mentioned very clearly, that through web browser we are trying to access the cloud platform and the user interface, the buttons, the menus, screens, and the click navigation through how you navigate to the cloud platform, entirely managed by the cloud provider. The real-time example is that when you open Netflix on your phone, the application you're seeing and playing button you tap, that's the front end in action as well, which is the very important as well, which we have to understand. And at the end of the day, we have to manage these things as, because when you open Netflix on your phone, the application you see the play button you tap, that's the front end in action, because completely managed on the front end only, right? Because we will be taking care of these buttons, will be managing as well. That's why they have mentioned here it's a digital window. So backend is the cloud engines room. See, that is also that is also very important as well. Okay, so in the backend we have cloud engines room. They have actually given a very good point here. You can say that cloud engine room, which is an important here. In the backend, guys, believe or not, the backend is more powerful. That's what like the real magic happens. So they are having the powerful computers and the systems working 24 by 7 to process the workloads as well. Like we have servers, like we have storage systems, the databases, the virtualizations, management softwares. So we are going to have too many things in the backend infrastructure, which is completely managed by the cloud provider. They have the huge database systems where they process the data of multiple customers parallelly. They have huge storage systems in their data warehouses where they can store the varieties of data as well. So all these things are very important as well. Okay, so that's why participants, it's very important. Storage systems, servers, virtualization, even the virtualization technology is also very important as well. Technology that spills one powerful computer into many the virtual machines as well. the management software, I would like to say that tools that monitor, control, and optimize everything behind the scenes as well, right? So this is something about those things as well, which we have to understand as well. Okay, so this is actually how this is going to work. Okay, the backend I have said, the internet, which is obviously the main important thing that we have to understand. Without internet, we cannot access. It acts as a communication bridge because we have front end and we have back end as well. So front end back end is being connected with the internet. That's why they have mentioned here the highway between that. It's a kind of the communication bridge between them. So how all it works together, you take action, click upload photo in the cloud storage. Okay. So request travels, your request zooms through the internet to the Google servers, like the Google provider you're using for storing the data means the request will travel to the Google servers. The backend will process your data, servers, receive it, process it, and store your photo in the database. Confirmation returns upload completed on your screen within couple of minutes, because the moment you are going to store the data, so obviously it's a very important as well. Okay.
Dear faculty members, I think trainer has been dropped the session. I think he's facing some network issue. Kindly please be waited. He will rejoin. As informed, the attendance link will be shared at 4:30 and it will be active only till 5:30. In the same session, you have to mark the attendance. I request please not to ask for the attendance link like previous day attendance link. Day 1 and day 2 can't be shared. Will be active only till 5:30. We can give a attendance link in the same session. I request kindly be waited. We'll share today's attendance link exactly at 4:30.
All right. Participants, welcome back. So I think we can start the session now. We can continue our session. So yes. So how all it works together? Like I said very clearly that we'll have kind of applications where they will be trying to collaborate together. They will be trying to manage. Okay, and you can access anything from the cloud provider, whatever the resources exactly you people required. So that will be managed, maintained by the cloud provider. So how it all works together, that is what they have mentioned. See, we are simply uploading the photo in the Google Drive. From the Google Drive, we are trying to access it, where we can able to manage from remote services. Backend will process everything that you are requesting, whatever the request you have been raised, and the confirmation will done. So you see upload complete on your screen, so that we can able to manage each and everything as well. So this is how generally how the things are being working as well, and how we can manage this particular things as well, which are very important as well. So cloud architecture is really brilliant, of course, yes, because the architecture has been built in such a way where it can support the scalability, like where we can scale the infrastructure as per the customer requirements. So need more storage and power, the cloud systems can expand instantly, like without buying the new hardware, like adding the extra lanes to the highway during the rush hour. Okay, so that we can there is no such possibility. So initially in the physical infrastructure, they'll be constructing the hardware. So whether increasing or decreasing the resources, we have to manage those things. So scalability is exactly the very important as well. So next we have the concept of reliability. The reliability concept says that data is backed up across multiple servers. Whenever I say that we have data, our data will be stored across multiple servers where we can access it and where we can manage it as well. Even we have cost savings as well, because we will be paying only for whatever the services exactly we are trying to use. So we'll be paying only for those particular the services as well. That is what exactly they have been cost savings. You will be paying only for the resources which exactly like you people will be using, because architecture is brilliant that it has been built in such a way so it provides scalability, reliability, and the cost savings as well. Clear, participants? The next one. So the big picture, cloud computing architecture connects what you see the front end with powerful systems you don't see in the back end, and through the internet, creating the seamless, scalable, and efficient digital experiences. So at the end of the day, you will be basically requested to develop the resources what exactly you people required as well. So we want such an architecture which can provide the scalable solutions for our company as well, because at the end of the day we all look for the scalable solutions. So based upon the scalable solutions, we will be trying to take the resources and we can able to manage those things as well. So participants, again, there are three questions which were mentioned in front of you. You all are requested to answer the same questions in the chat box as well. So we have various questions as well, participants, in the chat box. Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So we have, what are the two main components of cloud computing architecture and how do they differ? Just mention the question number and answers. So describe the journey of a user request from the front end to back end using a real life example. Question number three. So explain two benefits of cloud architecture and why they matter for the business and the users. So I guess the answers are very simple. So just I expect from all the participants, just give the answers in the chat box, please. The two main components, how describe the journey of a user request from the front end to the back end using the real life examples. Just we can mention one line answers also, so that we can discuss further. What could be the possible benefit as well? Participants, you can write in the chat box the answers for the questions. It's a kind of knowledge check that whatever we have seen. Yeah, very good, ma'am. For one is front end and the back end with internet. Yes, ma'am. There is an answer for the first question. So the second question: describe the journey of a user request from front end to back end using real life example. How the things, because I already have shown the example of this photograph. Like what I can say that I have shown very clear example of how the data can be uploaded into the cloud platform, how we can access it using the upload photo option. So other than this, next one is the user device, okay, where the user will be there. So, okay, the user device like browsers will be used to access the resources as well. That is from the front end, and we are trying to connect, back end as well. Yeah, very good. Exactly, ma'am. Savita, ma'am. Front end and the back end as well. So, what is the answer for the question number two? Describe the journey of a user request from the front end to the back end using a real life example, because obviously we'll have some kind of real life example as well so that we can manage it. Front end, the user interface, back end, the resources. Second answer, ma'am, is saying Google Photos. Yeah, the same example, ma'am, which I have said. So the best example for this is that where user will be requesting some extra resources for the application, like all these things as well, which is the very, very important as well. The internet has a major connection, exactly, and we have some, Netflix as well. Yeah. So we can probably consider many things like whatever exactly we require. Okay, obviously we can able to manage those things. Next, question number three. Explain to benefits cloud architecture. Yes, cloud architecture was designed in such a way where it can actually provide the benefits to our businesses, to our organizations, like for the small scale businesses, all these things as well. For the e-commerce, exactly, ma'am. Flexibility, yes, very good, Fatima, ma'am. So participants, it's very important to test ourselves before we proceed further. So these are the three levels of questions that have been designed so that we can get the things whatever we have learned so far. So this is all about the architecture because I don't want to drag more on this because the cloud architecture is very simple and I can say that easy to manage. So let's move forward. The second to the third topic. So we are left with the characteristics of cloud computing as well and the deployment models, the cloud deployment models and the cloud service models as well. So participants, we have to clear, we all, have to be clear about one thing which is important. That is where we have to understand how this cloud applications are going to benefit in the real time. As already I said in the first day, the cloud applications are completely accessible over the internet where we can able to upload on the whatever the data exactly we require. Okay, so all these things are very very the important as well. Let me share the screen. So we first discuss about the characteristics, then we move forward with service models and deployment models. Let us focus on characteristics of cloud computing as well so that we can move as per that. Yes. So participants, what are the cloud computing characteristics? Why they are actually the important, the concern? Because we know that the characteristics are very, very, important as well. Because of these particular characteristics define what exactly cloud. Okay, so why the Netflix company, Google company are using these things? Okay, so we have to understand those things as well. So even we have Netflix, Google company, even many cloud providers are using the same things for managing the resources as well. Why does this matter to you? Understanding these characteristics help you recognize the cloud services in everyday life and prepares you for the digital workplace of the future. Because as of now, we are running everything digitally, where we can able to access it from anywhere. So where we can able to manage them, even we get the more amount of the benefits as well. So that's why the characteristics are very important. The first characteristics which we are supposed to see is that on-demand self-service. So what exactly it means? Whatever the requirement you are requesting from the cloud provider, you can get instantly. What does instantly mean? Like whatever the storages you require, whatever the servers you require, whatever the applications you require, you will be getting each and everything from the cloud provider, right? So we'll be having the storages, we'll be having the servers instantly whenever you need them without talking to the anyone or waiting for the approval as well. Because you don't, wait for someone to accept your request. Okay, whatever the request is there. So we have to manage those things as well. Yes, Sunil sir, any doubt? All right. So that is very, very important as well as this is the much important on-demand self-service means whatever you request from cloud provider. So obviously, we will be getting that particular request to be solved by the cloud provider's platform. So no manual intervention will be there here. Please remember this point, all the participants. On demand, if I want to create one virtual server as of now, I can create a virtual server in less than 2 minutes, okay, so that the server can be accessible on the public internet. So that's why that is on-demand self-service. When you sign up for the Google Drive, you instantly get 15 GB of storage. No phone calls, no paperwork. Just click and start uploading your files immediately. So that is what how is the cloud. So save time and start working immediately. No waiting days or weeks. IT departments to set the things for you. But whenever you work on the physical infrastructure, the IT teams will take more time to set up, right? And the IT teams will spend a lot of time on managing the infrastructure as well, right? So all these things, participants, we have to take care and we have to, manage them accordingly as well. This is all about the on-demand, the self-service as well. Next is broad network access. From the term called broad network access, where we can access the resources from anywhere, anytime as well. What is the meaning of anywhere, anytime? Whatever the resources exactly I require, I can access those resources from anywhere and at any moment of time as well. Student example. You start writing an essay on your school computer. I already said this example. And when you reach home, again you start working. Again, when you are in the bus, you start working because the device which you are using, the platform which you are using is different, but the concept is same here. The broad network, you can access the cloud resources from anywhere. Even you can able to manage it from anywhere as well, which is the very, very uh, important as well. So that's why participants, it's very important to understand these things as well. Okay, so access it from anywhere, all these things as well. Resource pooling, one of the best characteristics of cloud computing. So resource pool, for example, let us assume that when I consider about swimming pool. So swimming pool, which is a public pool. So in the public pool, you don't have a specific place which is actually reserved for you. Public cloud is accessible by everyone. Even you can access, I can access, a lot many people can access the public cloud, right? So resource pooling means we know that cloud provider provides too many resources. It doesn't mean that if cloud provider is providing the database to me, so he will not provide to other the people as well. So cloud resources are accessible by everyone across the globe. So there is no specific, the requirements as well. Okay, which is, the very, very important as well. So all the parameters are very important as well. Okay. So yes, thank you so much, Kumar sir. So Kumar sir has given very, answer, the very good answer. You can see that. So with a clear explanation as well. Thank you, sir. So yes, the resource pooling also I can see that here. So the cloud providers serves many customers using the same physical computers and the storage system. See, the cloud has a huge amount of infrastructure that everybody knows that. AWS is managing the data centers across the globe. Azure is also managing the data centers across the globe. I am managing, you're managing, everybody is managing the infrastructure on their own. But at the end of the day, the resource capacity is very important. Where exactly the resources has been stored and how many resources we can access. So complete depends upon the physical infrastructure. But when I talk about the cloud platform, you don't have such a limit over there. You can access as many resources as there is no specific limit, which is actually given by the service provider. So this is all about the resource pooling as well. Why it is beneficial? Sharing the resources makes cloud computing much cheaper. Instead of buying expensive equipment, you share cost with millions of others worldwide. So the cost will be distributed across available resources rather than one single resource as well. Okay. So rapid elasticity, already these things we have discussed in the yesterday's class as well. So which is scalability, grow or shrink instantly. So during exam season, your school online learning platform handles thousands of students taking tests. I have my own learning platform. So people will take, live, regular, the classes, or I can say that during exams time, my requirement will be little high as well. Why exams time is very crucial for me? Because only in a particular year 2 months will be very busy, means my learning platform will have the huge traffic only on those 2 months. Now my infrastructure has to be scaled as per the student requirement, so that is completely provided by the cloud provider, where we can able to manage those things. Yeah, exactly, sir. Can grow as per the requirement, what is exactly customer requirement, so based upon that we can manage the things as well. So, measured service. Why we are mentioning as a measured service here, participants? There is one reason behind that. The reason that why we are mentioning the measured services, usage is completely monitored. Don't think that nobody's monitoring you. So whenever you use something on the cloud provider, each and every log we can able to see it. What we have did it, how the information is being stored, what when you have accessed when you have accessed the particular service, when you are going to manage it, each and everything is completely managed as well. So that's why they have mentioned here usage is completely monitored. The cloud automatically tracks how much storage, bandwidth, or the processing power you use, just like an electricity meter tracks power consumption. How electricity meter is tracking your power consumption based upon your usage. In the similar fashion, the cloud providers also tracks your usage, and based upon that, the bill will be generated as well. Exactly, sir. Pay only for the usage. How many resources exactly you're going to use, will be paying only for that and saving the money as well. Okay, ultimately. High availability and reliability. Even yesterday also we have discussed the proportionality of this particular terms, the availability and the reliability as well. The term availability indicates very clearly that whenever you request any resource from cloud provider, you will be getting that resource, and you should able to access it. Okay, so where we have to manage them as well. So high availability is nothing but like kind of when you request any resource, that request should be ready, and even we can able to access those things as well. And why it works? Cloud providers maintain the copies of your data in the different data centers. Already we know that, right? Our data is accessible across multiple data centers. Okay, by default we don't get that. We have to make the backup of our data in the multiple data centers. If one data center is not available, obviously we can expect the data access from the other data centers as well. So that's why the data which is being stored in the online, so completely accessible, completely manageable as well, right? Yes. So, example for the reliability. The reliability, when I say that the machine should be fault tolerant. When I say the machine is fault tolerant, I can say the machine is more reliable. Reliability means the consistency, I can say so. For example, now you're going to access a particular machine. When I say the machine is reliable, what is the best example for that? So, the consistency, I can say that. The machine has to work even in the event of failure, and it should produce the correct result over there. So that's why it is very very the important as well. Always we have to make the machines more reliable. When the machine is more reliable, obviously you will be getting the better availability. That's why I have mentioned reliability is directly proportional to the availability. When I say that my machine is not reliable, what does it mean? It means that my machine is facing some kind of problems, or maybe it is undergoing some changes. That's the reason that machine is not reliable. When I say that machine is not reliable, it means the infrastructure is not working fine, right? So participants, hope the relation is clear to everyone. Can anyone say that which is proportional to which one? Whether reliability is proportional to availability, or availability is proportional, directly proportional to reliability. What is the correct relation? Anybody can write in the chat box, please. It would be appreciated that which is proportional to which one, whether availability is proportional to reliability, or reliability is proportional to availability. I think already we have discussed in yesterday's class as well. Okay, sir, Mallikarjun sir is saying available to reliable. Okay. So it means when you think that availability is high, it means reliability is also high. Or when you think that you have a machine, so the machine is working fine. So on what basis we can measure that, the performance of the machine? So when you access that machine, I can say that, the availability of the machine is very good, right? So high availability is very, very important as well. Even we can able to, measure the performance by simply, checking the reliability of a particular, the machine as well, which is actually the very, very, important as well. So the next question which, I would like to, ask you is that what happens when the system is not reliable? So are you able to get the availability? When the system is not reliable, so are we able to access those systems? Definitely not, right? So definitely not, because the system should work continuously. Then only we can able to access those resources. So availability, can I say that availability is completely dependent upon the reliability of the infrastructure? Can I say like that? Can I say that availability is completely dependent upon the reliability of the infrastructure or not? Because if the infrastructure is reliable, then all I can access, right? So without reliability, then if we can access, then what happens? So obviously, participants, reliability is important here, because if the infrastructure is not reliable, it means the infrastructure is undergoing some changes. Infrastructure is not at all, working fine. In those cases, it's not, possible to manage it up as well. So that's why reliability is very, very, important, because the machine's functionality is important. If machines are not working, then obviously we cannot able to access the infrastructure. So this is how actually characteristics works. You need to complete a group project. So you create a shared Google Doc using on-demand self-service. Okay, no waiting, instant access for the whole team. You create one Google Doc from the Google Drive. So everyone works from different places. My project team members are at the different places. Like I am in one city, my friends are in one city. So we all collaborate together to contribute to my project. So now, whenever my file size grows, obviously we have broad network access as a characteristic here. File size grows here. As you add images and research, Google automatically provides more storage through rapid elasticity. You never run out of this space. By default, you'll be getting 15 GB of storage. Whenever the file size gets increases automatically, you will be getting the resources which are elastic in nature. The dock is always available, because thanks to high availability, because whatever the documents that we are going to store inside the cloud provider, we can able to access actually from anywhere, so that everyone knows that, because availability is one of the important term here. And you only pay for what you use, that is measured service. So how much storage you're using, okay, based upon your access parameters, the cloud people are going to, charge you as well, which is very, very, important. So participants, there are three more questions which were actually designed for you. You can also see here, test your knowledge. So which characteristics allows you to access your cloud files from your phone, laptop and school computer? Please, you can write the response in the chat box, everyone. Which characteristics allows you? Please mention the question number, those who are answering. Otherwise, it becomes mesh. It becomes mess as well. Okay. So explain the resource pooling using a real life example. If you can explain it. Otherwise, not required. So question number three: why is pay as you use better than buying our own expensive servers? Give two reasons. Come on, participants. Please, you can answer these questions. So first question, I'm expecting the answers from all the three questions, if you could. The first question is that which characteristics allows you to access your cloud files from your phone, laptop and school computer, from where you can access? So what characteristics will sufficient, or which characteristics will be suitable for this particular scenario? Write in the chat box, please, everyone. See, already I have explained you on this scenario as well. Okay, so this is where we can able to check that. Everyone, please see this before answering the questions. I request everyone, please see these terms. So as per this, please think and provide the answers. Hope it is clear, right? Now answer the questions. All right. And participants, please write the response in the chat box. Not only one response I have received. Kindly provide your responses for the questions that were displayed over here. Okay, Shobha ma'am. So question number one, you're saying broad network access where we can access the resources of cloud from anywhere. Okay, ma'am. What else? Even Shravanti ma'am also giving on demand service. Okay. All right. Question number two, resource pooling. So Dipti ma'am is saying broad network access. See, on demand service is something that it is useful to create. So those are given the on-demand access, ma'am. And sir, please listen. On-demand access means you can get access to that to create the resource. Okay. So broad network access is something that where you can access the resource from anywhere, anytime. That is called as on-demand access. Sorry, the what I can say that broad network access. So the resource pooling also we can say that here. So where we have already explained you very clearly about the concept of the resource pooling as well. Okay, and we have all these things as well. So why is pay as you use better than buying your own expensive servers? So the main reason is that so whenever you invest some money or capital infrastructure on the cloud platform, it will actually take too much expensive or can say that more burden as well. Yeah, very good, Saili ma'am. So we have all these things as well. So Prashant sir is saying public network access. Okay. So which characteristics? It's not kind of public network, so you can directly say that it's a broad network access as per the terminology. Cloud providers shares the same servers and storage and scalability and flexibility and cost. These are some of the advantages where we can able to manage the resources. So this is something about the. So let's move forward to the next topic of the day. Thank you. Yes, all right. So, participants, the next topic of the day, the very, very important topic that is the deployment models. Okay. So, when I talk about the concept of deployment models, anybody can say me what exactly the meaning of deployment? Why, the deployment model is very, very important. I can say that. And what is the importance of the deployment model as well? Why it is exactly the important thing that we will be considering this deployment models as a major important note. Anyone can semi place participants why deployment models are very very important and what is the importance of deployment models, because since the deployment models plays a major role in handling the resources which you opt from the cloud provider. So that's why the deployment model says that what kind of resources and how your resources are being managed, optimized as per the customer requirements. Let us focus on that. Yes, okay, so delivering the services to the users in an effective manner. All right, sir. Pushing your applications onto the cloud. Okay, Rashikar, sir. All right, participants. Now let us see that understanding how organizations choose and use cloud services to meet their unique needs as well. Because at the end of the day, how organizations are managing their infrastructure and how we can manage them, how we can maintain their things as well. We can mention them very clearly as well. Yes, Shravanti ma'am. These deployment models or allows the systems and services to be easily accessible to the general public. So, participants, one thing I would like to clear all of you that deployment, the term deployment, what does it exactly mean? The deployment model says that how you generally manage enter your data through public cloud, through private cloud, or through hybrid cloud. What strategy you're using, kind of deployment model for managing your data. So whether you're choosing public cloud for storing the data, whether you are managing your own infrastructure to manage your data, whether you're choosing the hybrid cloud to run the business on both platforms, on premises and the cloud. So what kind of cloud you preferable to manage? Participants, is there any specific criteria that I think all of you are aware of these things? Is there any specific criteria to select this deployment model? What are the factors that we are going to consider to select a particular deployment model, which is actually important to us, participants? Is there any specific criteria for this? So on what basis exactly we will be selecting these deployment models? What is the main important thing? So let us see here, security. Okay, yes, obviously security can be considered over here. So what are cloud deployment models? Cloud deployment models are different ways organizations can set up and use cloud computing services. Think of them as a different rental options for storing your data and running your applications as well. Because whatever the things that we require, we'll be getting from the cloud provider. So that is what they have been mentioned here. How organizations can set up and use the cloud computing services. Think of them as different rental options for storing your data and running your, applications as well. So how you are managing your data, how you are actually benefiting from the management of different things. So you should understand these things. So just like you can choose between renting an apartment and buying a house. If you want to rent apartment, you are investing very less money. If you are buying apartment, you have to invest more, which is private cloud. Let us assume the scenario. Okay, a person is there. A person is traveling from Hyderabad to Bombay. So he has three options to travel. Option number one, either he can travel through train. Option number two, he can travel some distance through train and some distance through the cab as well. Option number three, he can travel completely on the cab only. The person who is traveling in the train, since he is sharing the common platform, the person who is traveling through the cab or via cab, using cab as a resource, he might get the more security because the cab is completely dedicated for this person. So security was highest priority here. The person is traveling some distance through train, some distance through cab. Means he is using both modes of communication. It is called as hybrid cloud. A person is traveling through the train where the train is not only for that particular person, this train is shared among multiple stakeholders or multiple people. That's why it is called as public cloud. Hope it is clear to everyone. So these all are the deployment models, which is the very, very important. So just like you can choose between the renting an apartment and buying a house or doing both, businesses also choose how they want to access computing resources based upon their needs for security, cost, and the control as well. Like how you are managing your business, how you are going to get the benefits as well. All are very, very important. The three main models are public cloud, we have private cloud and a hybrid cloud. we'll be having total three clouds as well. Public cloud will be there, private cloud also there, and we also have the hybrid, the cloud as well, which is the very, very, important. So each and every cloud has a different features or different parameters that we are supposed to consider very, very seriously. Because see, when you choose the private cloud over the public cloud, obviously the cost is too much. Private cloud means having their own infrastructure and not having my own infrastructure. The complete infrastructure is managed, maintained by the cloud provider. So participants, let us see, move forward. So public cloud explained very clearly. Let us assume we have a library. So at our place, the library is not constructed only for us, right? The library can be accessible by everyone across our streets, across our cities, right? So here everyone can access the books and resources. The library maintains everything and you only pay if you want extra services. You don't own the building, neither you don't own the books, nothing. You are just going to the library. If the library is going to charge you, then you will be charged with the minimum fees. So you will be provided with the same thing as well. So that is what exactly participants. A public cloud is computing services offered by the third party providers over the internet, and multiple customers share the same infrastructure. When you say the multiple customers, you can also get access to the cloud, I can also get access, everybody can able to get access to the cloud infrastructures. That's why it is actually a public cloud as well, because public cloud is completely managed, maintained by the cloud provider. So multiple customers can share the same infrastructure. So the infrastructure is provided by the cloud provider. You can access that, I can access, everybody can access. That's why participants, it is actually the public cloud as well, which is the very, very, important as well. A public cloud is a computing service offered by the third party providers over the internet, and the multiple customers share the same infrastructure, which is very, very, important as well. So let us see the next one. The common use cases, email and the file storage, like we are using our own Gmail. So Gmail is being accessed by everyone freely. So where they are going to get 50 GB as a basic storage. If they want to increase the space, extra space, they have to pay for that. Web hosting for the blogs, where we can host on the public clouds. Startup applications, startups, instead of buying the expensive infrastructure, they can completely take over the business on the cloud platform, because no need to buy the any physical infrastructures. For development and testing also, cloud providers are providing the platforms, where we can use those platforms especially for developing applications and even for testing the applications as well. Advantages, very cost effective, as I said very clearly. So we don't require any maintenance over here. So maintenance of the applications are completely done by the cloud provider. Easy to scale up or down, access from anywhere, because we can access the resources from anywhere without any problematic things. And disadvantages, less control over the data. Will be not having more control, because since entire data is completely managed by the cloud provider, you can manage your data, but the data which is holded by the platform, so that we don't have more control, because the platform has been designed in such a way, so having the more control over to the cloud provider rather than the customer. Shared resources, obviously the resources are not limited to only single customer. The resources can be shared by everyone across the globe. Potential security concerns, while you are traveling in the train, so you might have some security issues, though your infrastructure is not shared with everyone. Your bedding, you are having your own bedding, and here also in the cloud platform, we will be having our own resources. Whenever we are having our own resources, obviously we can manage accordingly as well. So this is the main disadvantages where we can able to consider. Okay. And next one is depends on provider aspect as well, whether service provider is actually trying to provide you some resources, like where we can able to manage them very clearly. So what kind of services, what kind of security the service provider is holding. So obviously it completely depends upon the service providers. So the popular examples, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, which are more popular and where we can able to manage. So private cloud. So as I said very clearly, private cloud infrastructure is exclusively designed for single company. I repeat again, private cloud infrastructure is exclusively designed for single company. I have my own company. I am managing all my business on premises, or maybe with the help of third party provider. Third party means what? The AWS it could be the Azure, it could be the GCP. So by taking the help of the third party provider, I am willing to construct a data center at my own location. That is a private cloud simply. Imagine owning a private estate with your own security guards, maintenance staff, and complete control over who enters into that estate. It's more expensive than renting because you're not renting that. Rather than renting, you are actually building that. Whenever you are building the data center, the cost that is involving over the it is too high, but you have total privacy and you can customize everything exactly how you want and how you can able to manage it as well. Clear, participants? So these are the use cases: banks handling the sensitive financial data, hospital patient data, also the records, governments, agencies with classified information, everybody. Those applications which are actually, yes, I will share the ppt, sir, not an issue. Those things which are very important, I will be able to take over that. Okay. And advantages: maximum security and privacy we can expect from cloud provider, complete control over the infrastructure, customizable to the specific needs, what exactly the customer needs, as per that we can manage it. We can also meet strict compliance standards, we'll be not focusing more on the on the infrastructure part also here. Why not? Why we are not focusing on? Because when you take help from the third party is responsible again to manage the things. But anyhow, majorly the major thing is that mostly private clouds are managed by in-house people rather than depending upon the outsourcing people. Okay. The disadvantages: expensive to set up. So obviously the cost is too much if you want to set up the private cloud. It requires the IT expertise. IT people are required because you are managing your infrastructure from your side. So all these things are very very important as well. Okay, so this is very very important as well. So requires IT expertise. Limited scalabilities will be provided over here. Higher management and the responsibilities as well. Even we can able to manage those things as well. So we will be having the limited scalabilities as well, because you cannot scale the entire infrastructure in the private estate, because private cloud is kind of infrastructure you are managing on your own. So these are the benefits and use cases, participants. The next thing is a hybrid. From the term called hybrid, what is exactly hybrid? Hybrid in the sense that hybrid cloud combines the public and the private clouds. Some people, they want to run their business in the both ways. So if I have an application, I want to deploy my application in both platforms, like in the public cloud and also in the private cloud. So if my application is generating too much data, so the data part I will be managing in the public cloud, the application sensitive security and all these things, will be managed in the private cloud. See, it's like owning a house private, but also using a public storage unit public for seasonal items. You keep valuables at your home under your control, but use affordable external storage when you need extra space. So you are keeping your gold whenever you have the valuable assets like your gold items in the lockers, right? So you're using lockers for storing your data. And some data you keep, some gold you keep in your house, some gold you'll keep in the lockers. Lockers are shared by public again. So remember that. Lockers are not shared by only with you. The lockers where they are stored, whatever the place they are using for sharing the lockers, it is shared by everyone. But your locker space is isolated from each other, right? So it is a kind of, again, this one as well. Okay, participants. So hybrid cloud is nothing but simply managing the data between the both platforms, like public and the private clouds as well, which is the very, very, again, important as well. Common use cases: e-commerce sites, users sites keeping the customer data private, but using public cloud for traffic spikes. Healthcare organizations storing the patient records privately while using the public cloud for the research, and the companies with seasonal demand fluctuations. So that's why this could be the common use cases where we can manage it. And the key advantages: flexibility to choose where data lives, because you have the flexibility, whether you want to store the data in the private platform or the public platform. Okay, so you can migrate from one to one, because that's up to you as well. So why it is more, what is the main challenge over here? The main challenge over here is that complex to set up and manage, because you are not focusing only on the single cloud. Since you are focusing on multiple clouds, like you will be managing on the both public and the private clouds as well. That's why it is actually an important as well, where we can able to manage them and where we can able to get them as well. The main challenge is complex to set up, and the manage requires expertise in both environments, potential integrations, and the difficulties, and the need for the storing the security across the both platforms as well, which is the very important as well. So participants, it is very important as well, which we have to take these things into the considerations. Okay, so we have this particular challenges in the hybrid cloud as well, which we will be taking care of them as well. So that's what I'm saying, that the cloud, which cloud we have to choose at which particular location, it is very, the important as well. What kind of cloud you're supposed to use it, how you're going to manage these things. These are actually the very important as well, because choosing the right cloud model is exactly the very important as well, whether you're using public cloud, whether you're using hybrid cloud. So which particular cloud model exactly you're supposed to use it, so it is going to play an important the role as well. And this could be the main challenges. Okay, complex to set up, and requires expertise in the both environments, potential integrations, and all these things as well. Participants, I have made a small comparison here. Everybody can see this comparison. The cost of public cloud will be very low, pay as you use. How much exactly you will be using, based upon that you have to pay. Private cloud, high upfront investment, because you have to buy the expensive infrastructure. The cost is little high. Hybrid cloud, medium balanced, because you are managing both. Security, good shared responsibility. Obviously, in the private cloud, entire control will be with the service provider, sorry, the owner of the private cloud. So hybrid cloud, very good, but still customizable. Why it is customizable? Because the data is being managed by cloud provider and the customer. Control, limited provider manages here, because in the public cloud, entire data is managed, maintained by the cloud providers only. That's why it is very the important as well, where we have to understand these specific the things as well. Scalability, in the public cloud, you can expect the excellent scalability. The reason is that in the public cloud, you can scale the infrastructure to the next level. How much data you can actually keep it up, you can keep that much data, even you can able to manage that as well. Okay, and in the private cloud, limited but fixed capacity, because you will be constructing the data center and owned by you. So hybrid cloud also very good, best of both. And examples of public cloud, like you're using your Gmail, Dropbox, Google Photos, everything. So AWS is the public cloud provider. Azure is also the public cloud provider. Google Cloud is also a public cloud provider. Clear, participants? And next we have private cloud. We have banking systems. We have military networks. So every military is having their own data centers, like which are managed by them. And hybrid cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud, Salesforce, where they can manage their infrastructure, both the platforms. So participants, these are something that where we would like to understand very clearly as well. Okay, so quickly, participants, there are two questions in front of you. So everyone, please answer those two questions so that we can wind up the session. So which cloud model would be the best for small startups? Okay, with a limited budget that needs to quickly launch a mobile application? The answer is very simple, I guess. You people are able to answer. Please answer the questions. Yes, very good, Abhilash sir. Abhilash sir has given the answer. Yeah, very good, sweetie man. Excellent. So the participants, the first answer will be the public cloud. In the public cloud, we majorly consider about the budget constraint, right? Very good. So why might a hospital choose a private cloud over a public cloud for storing the patient data? We know that patient data is more, important. Like, the patient data, what we're going to store it. Obviously, we will be taking care of that, because the history is very important. We should able to access it from, we should able to access, and important prescriptions were being stored. So all, at the end of the day, it is all about security, right? Simple meaning. Can you explain the real world scenario where a hybrid cloud would be most practical choice? So please write the sentences in the chat box, so I'm watching your sentences, what you are trying to write over there. So this one, can can you explain this, the real world, hybrid, scenario, hybrid cloud, where this would be practically possible? Participants, please answer this question. We will, I'm writing this in the chat box as well. Yes. E-commerce websites. Okay. Healthcare. All right. All right, all right. Yes. So as I can see that it's very important as well, where we like to take care of these things, which is very, very important as well. Okay. So participants, we'll be having many scenarios as well. So we can implement everything on the hybrid cloud whenever you want to manage the applications, the load, or whenever you want to balance the load, you can also go for the hybrid clouds. So they're helpful a lot where we can able to manage accordingly. Okay, so participants, thank you so much. Okay, so we'll catch up in the next day, so with the new topics and with practicals as well. Thank you so much everyone. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so dear faculty members, some are asking for yesterday's attendance link. As already informed, the attendance link will be active only till 5:30. So previous day attendance link can't be shared. I request please mark your attendance before 5:30. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think we are good to go. We will wind up. So I have shared the attendance link on the chat. Kindly mark your attendance. And as informed yesterday, this attendance link, attendance is very mandatory to get the certificate. 60% of attendance is mandatory. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. We'll meet again.